we are generating lyrics from your priorities, resources, your name, and etc. And then we are generating the music on the basis of your inner chord. And so on.
And your innermost secrets, right? It's reading your secrets.
I get that. Like people, when they say it's a whole body scan and it lists everything, people think, oh, they're going to radiate me from the airport scan and tell all my secrets.
Okay, so you know what? We'll go back to that later because, of course, it worked 5 minutes ago, but now that I am on stage, it doesn't work anymore. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, don't say that because if I don't have my laptop, I'm not talking going to work.
Okay, so we'll go back to music a little bit later. So what I need to show you today is the new Harmonizer, and later I will introduce the new extension API, when we will next have a talk with Leon that explains what he does with it. So about the Harmonizer, it can be integrated directly into your exploration because it will take into account everything that we measured in your exploration. Or you can use directly from the homepage like a basic program, and you would have some different programs. So as you can see, we have a lot of programs. So on energy, we have more than 1,500 programs. On the body, we have more than 3,000 programs. On the mind, more than almost 800. And we have even more because there is a fourth category, which is organisms that you only have as a pro. Okay. So let's just maybe reload everything. So one session would be computed directly from your priorities. And each program is linked to one biomarker and one of the different programs that can be played with the device. And the device can play 28 different modes. A few of them are medically certified, and some other ones are not medically certified but used for wellness. Okay? And what makes it really special are the two last modes, which are modes where we control everything in the device, including the frequencies and the pulse width and everything that can be controlled in real time by the app. So we can build our own FSM protocols that can react in real time to what we measure, and that makes it really special. So if you go, for instance, to so this is sorry. Hey. This is the example of one program that has been automatically built by the software from my priorities, for instance. And if you go to each program, it will tell you where to place the device. Because it will use some specific, each program, each of these 4,000 or 5,000 programs will use specific acupuncture points to deliver the message to some precise points or organs or systems. That's what makes it really interesting. Okay, so it will tell you what are the where the 2 points are, and so you can just see directly where to place them. So you can put them directly on each point, which means you move the device for each program, or you can just find a common point in the meridians where it will work if you want to just have a session and relax.
Would you use that, and maybe this isn't the right time for the question, but when you say a common point, so if you find the really big red dot, right, you could say, oh, okay, well, I really want this one downstream.
Yeah.
But you say, but the blockage is here, so maybe I put it over the big red dot instead of this more green dot or whatever. Is that what you mean when you say you can find a general area?
Well, for instance, okay, so this is a very specific program for me, so it has a lot of, it seems it has a lot of things to do with meditation. So let's go back to standard programs. So you can browse directly all programs. So let's go for energy, for instance. So because I have an open exploration, it will directly rate all programs to give me the most important programs for me right now, okay? So we have this rating system between 0 and 100%, and you can just take all this for something interesting, okay? But you can also just browse. So I want everything, so let's filter, okay? So I want everything fatigue for spleen,
yes,
okay? And then you have 2 programs that are designed for spleen fatigue. So in 2 clicks, you get the 2 or 3 interesting programs amongst more than 5,000 programs, okay?
Wow.
So let's say I want to work on hormones. On hormones, I can work on fatigue, vitality, recovery, balance, or performance. So let's say, okay, let's go to balance, show list. And now I have 2 balance programs that will work on adrenals or cortisol balance. So you can either start by, so let's reset everything. Okay, you can either start by what you want to achieve, generally, okay? And or what organ system you want to work on, okay? And if you want to work on some specific meridian, for instance, okay, it's not very explicit because it's a number, but you can work on some specific synergy programs that are designed. You see, this is BioCoherence. So this is a synergy, and it's made to play the harmonic boost at the same time as the harmonizers. So let's say I want to work on this one. You see, I can play it as an audio synergy or in silence mode. So silence mode would be, okay, put the device here and here. So you have 2 pads. You put it on each of the points, and you just play it in silence mode, and it will play for a recommended 3 minutes 14 seconds. But you can play as long as you want. So if you feel it makes some good to you, you just let it play. Or you can just play it in audio synergy, in which case you will hear the harmonic boost in the same time. And this particular program, because it's a BioCoherence program, the electrical impulses that you will receive with the device are in synergy. So they will have a synergetic effect with the audio frequencies. So this is really powerful.
So is that's coming through 2 different...
Yeah, it's coming through different channels because the audio is acoustic compression waves that your body receives and acts, and you know that the harmonic boosts are really powerful. But these are electrical waves that delivers an electromagnetic pulses in the body at precise points. And as Christine says, these points are carried by the fascias, and the fascias are electrically conductive across all the system, and there are some specific paths to carry this message from the skin, where you put the device, to the organs that you want to work on.
Yeah. So then it's going to plug into the phone, right? The harmonizer?
Okay, so I have to show you the harmonizer, and of course, because I'm very dumb, I didn't bring it on stage. But it's here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering how that works, right?
Oh, yes. I can see it.
So we will have a very nice box and etc. that you can imagine. So the device is small as that, okay? And it has just 3 commands. You can switch it on, and if I switch it on, I can connect it. So to connect it, I just have to click on it.
Oh, that's a Bluetooth?
Yeah, switch it on. It's Bluetooth LE. Okay. So at some point it should connect.
So are you going to be able to Bluetooth that from your phone and a speaker at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay, so now it's connected, you see? So it's blinking on screen and on the computer. So you get the battery information, and you can connect 2 devices. I will go to that later.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
And you just have 3 commands on it. So power, less energy, more energy. So you just adjust directly on the device. So if you are in a practice, for instance, you give the device to the user and he manipulates it. You don't manipulate it. Okay. And so he can directly adjust the level, the intensity. And generally speaking, it should be just on the threshold of feeling the effect, but it should not be too strong or too low. Okay? Yes, because too strong can be, and it depends on the frequency. So we will also make some.
It's kind of like a massage.
Yes, but
strong, you tense up.
But something, some strange effects of the frequencies is that you feel some frequencies higher than other ones. So we will do a dynamic adjustments of the level according to the frequency that is currently delivered, so that it makes a smooth experience for the user. And no device does that. Usually, when you switch frequency, suddenly you get an electric shock, you know.
Yeah. Will the device, is the device capable of feedback through Bluetooth to BioCoherence?
No, for that we use the sensor.
Well, oh, the sensor.
Yes, because
okay.
as you can see, there is another button here, which is really interesting. And I'm not on the keypad, okay. Which is biofeedback test. And for that, we will do the same as we recently did for the harmonic boost. We will send a short excerpt of the program while you are recording with the sensor, and we will see how your body reacts to this program, okay? And we will also be able to measure if the electrical impulse is correctly going through your body, because we get some electrical feedback from the sensor. Yeah. So it makes a complete ecosystem now, because we are able to deliver frequencies and to measure in real time if these frequencies have the stated effect for you.
So if the body is like if you move with the sensor, then you get the wah-wah. Too much energy is low.
It's not so strong. It's microcurrents, so it's not so strong.
How many times can you reuse the pads?
Okay, so the pads, we will give a different set of pads. So you can have little pads like that you can connect with a cable to the device. So you just plug the cable. It's a USB-C cable, so if you need a prolongator, an extension, you can just take a standard USB-C extension, okay? And then you just connect this. This is standard medical pads with, what's the name of that? You just clip it, you know? Yeah. Okay, so you can clip pads, but you can so this is for one user. So if the person buys the device, he can always use the same and maybe sometimes put a little bit of electrogel on it to restore it. But then you have disposable pads. And this is standard medical disposable pads that you can buy in any pharmacy, and it's really cheap, okay? And so it's the same clips. So you can use the disposable pads for one client and just throw them away after that, okay?
Do you need the pads?
No, yes. There is another way. You have two pin buttons on the back of the device, and then you can put some pads. So this is not the shape of our pads, because we will have nicer pads I will show you, but you can have pads like that you directly plug on it and you put it on the skin.
Oh, right.
So you don't have any wire tangling or anything. So you can just put it and even put your shirt back on and do your session while you do something else, if you want. So you can put it, for instance, on the
under your shirt?
Here, here, for instance, or on the back for back problems, which is really very efficient. So in that case, we will have some general guidance for a whole session with an option to put the pad in only one place. And in that case, we will say, okay, we recommend you put the pad, for instance, on the back or on the solar chakra, and it will work for the whole session instead of moving it for every program. And so you can also browse by mode. So if you want to do everything that is related to acupuncture, you will have a lot more options here. So these are all modes related to acupuncture. So for instance, stress, and then you will, as soon as you click on the theme that you want to work on, you see it limits the organs that are related to it. So if you want to work on stress, you can work on the nervous system, and you can directly see two programs that are pretty high recommendation. But if you want to work on vision, for instance, and brain, then you will work on the brain visual cortex, okay? So you see, it's very efficient to find the proper program, because it's quite overwhelming, but there are maybe 5,000 programs that we designed for BioCoherence. Yeah. And each of these programs is individual, because it uses different acupuncture points and different entry points. Yes?
So when you go back to I see where you're putting that there, but when you go back to the screen, in alchemy, your body has 7 systems. You picked the nervous system, right? So that is a system in your body, but you also have the circulation, you have muscular. Is it, and I was looking at how you selected like stress.
Yeah.
And then you had your different choices. I didn't get a chance to look at it. Maybe this is not the right place for this question, because you're just showing us briefly. But
yeah.
are they arranged like that? Like when you click stress and you know, the brain comes up, well, that's part of your nervous system, right? So
No, we have brain and we have nervous system as two different systems in BioCoherence. This is organized as the top level organ categories that we have in BioCoherence. So it's all related to biomarkers. Okay, so because each program is related to specific acupuncture points and specific biomarkers and a specific stated effect, which is the combination of all of that, we could extract all of these keywords, you know. But if you want to work on sleep, for instance, you can work on meridians, on chakras, on momentums. Okay? Yeah. And it will be related to, for instance, you have one program which is called Calm the Mind, which is related to emotional balance, and Promote Sleep and Relaxation, which is related to sleep. Okay? So all of the time it's related to one specific biomarker. Okay. And that makes it really interesting because we can have this evaluation that is related to the
in fact, you can see the I don't know if effect is the right word, but in other words, it's high. This has high value. And this one is negative. You know.
Yeah, no. So we have this value between 0 and 100, and this value is computed not only from the biomarkers but also from the related acupuncture points. Okay. So.
The reach.
We also need strong acupuncture points, and so we put forward the one with the best acupuncture points in your system right now because it will be the best flow to your system.
Yeah. The throughput.
Yeah.
That was kind of my question with the pad. When you select, I just said blocked. You know, I just said blocked puncture point, but you really wouldn't want to use that one if you're directing energy into it. Because I was thinking of, drop the depth charge to break up the blockage.
Yeah.
Right, but you're talking about find one that's in
yes, find one that is efficient because we use the acupuncture points as carriers to convey the energy where we want to convey it into the body.
The throughput is great.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to get into the causal chain.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? So anyway, so if you want to go to mind, for instance, you have these different categories: emotional stress, creativity, depression, clarity, and so on. So if you want to work on clarity with the eyes, for instance, why not?
Yeah.
You will get 4 programs that are related to that. If you go to body, this is the biggest one. So it takes a little bit of time to compute, but you see quite clearly you get the 30 best programs amongst 3,000. And again, you have different categories here. So these are the main categories that are related to our organs here, and what you want to achieve. Okay. So you see, it's both very rich and very simple to use. That's the point. That's why we wanted to achieve. Then there is this special mode with 2 devices that I cannot show you today, but I will just explain to you. There is a guy named Van Gelder and then a lady named Caroline McMakin that worked on what is called FSM. And it's microcurrent therapy, frequency-specific microcurrents that uses 2 frequencies. And in the principle is 1 frequency targeted to the organ and 1 frequency targeted to the healing effect. So it's kind of similar of what we do with the harmonic boosts and stimuli, but now we can do it electrically the same way as FSM does, and FSM has very, very good clinical results. So for that, we will just use 2 devices and 4 entry points. And so we will say, okay, in dual mode, so to activate the dual mode, you have to connect 2 devices, and then you get more programs with dual mode. And in dual mode, we will say, okay, you put device 1 on this and this acupuncture points, for instance, and device 2 here and here, and it will drive the 2 devices in one go through the application, through BioCoherence, to deliver these specific programs that use 2 frequencies. So it's another interesting development.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
Now
it's
you can
it's
hook
very
up more
interesting.
than one Bluetooth.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Boy,
can. Yeah.
I can see all kinds of stuff with that.
And again, I just want to stress that the Bluetooth signal is just to send the program number to the device, not to send the whole wave.
Right.
Yeah, it's
so
not the
so it's
transmission
very
of the frequency,
It's
it's
all
the
in there.
transmission of the list.
yeah, exactly.
all in there.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right.
And so each time we change the frequencies, we send a very short message, so it doesn't do any electrosmog or things like that.
That's going to be the number
Yeah,
one question.
it's important to know because people can be afraid of Bluetooth, but this is
Yeah.
Bluetooth low emission, and it's only sending very, very sparse information every few seconds, maybe when we change the frequency or something like that. So I don't think
It's
anybody.
a pulse
Yeah.
for the pulse.
So you could say a slow emission to initiate the program list
pulse
within the
emission.
device.
No, it's just yes, it's just a very short message to initiate the
It's
program. That's all.
short
It's just
Yeah.
transmitting the list of frequencies to play next.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
No, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, and then you can start the session with audio synergy or silence mode, and we can maybe start one just to show you how it works.
Médéric,
Yeah.
s'il te plaît.
Oui.
Ouais, juste pour être sûr que j'ai bien compris.
Oui.
Donc pour MacMakin, sur le device 1, tu as le canal A, donc le canal
Oui,
in,
voilà.
le canal B sur ton harmoniseur 2.
Ouais.
Et je ne sais pas si là c'est possible, tu peux montrer comment ça se passe au niveau, si tu veux envoyer un programme par exemple.
Eh ben, je peux pas parce que j'ai qu'un seul appareil.
Ah, ok.
Ouais, c'est ça. Mm. Et en plus, très honnêtement, je suis pas sûr que ce soit encore complètement prêt dans
Ouais,
l'interface.
c'est
Ça.
ce que tu avais dit, mais c'est
ouais.
au cas où.
Oui, voilà. Mm. Okay, so we are connected, and now we can play, for instance, an audio synergy, and it will just show you. You have to contact. So you have a kind of feedback. Okay, you have to contact it with the pads. So let's put the pads. Or I will just simulate it by just putting my 2 fingers on it. As soon as I contact, it will start. And I can feel it in my fingers, of course. And if I remove my fingers, it will stop. Okay? So we have a kind of real-time feedback for this. So I put my fingers back, okay? And if we have 2 devices, we will have 2 bodies and to see what is happening, okay? Mm. And if I want to skip it, I can just skip to the second one. And this will now deliver me a different program.
Oh,
And with audio frequencies.
That's the sound.
wow. But the sound is coming out of the laptop and not the harmonizer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you would have headphones on?
Yeah. You would have headphones on, or you would have one of the devices that we have yesterday to put the frequencies in a different place. So you can really mix these different modalities by getting some electrical healing and some acoustical healing.
Vestibular nerve activation
Yeah.
with the sound.
And so you can just go to another one.
They were like, what?
Okay, so this is the third program for my list.
But inside the fingers is going like on electricity.
Yeah. So you just put your fingers on it because without even using the pads. And you should feel it a little bit. And if you don't feel it, you can just click on plus. And at one point you will.
That's your codes. You're going to turn into metric now.
Good, maybe I'll understand math
Do you feel this one?
Hand it over.
Look, his nose is lighting up.
You should write one for your presentation, and we just hold it, and then you download the presentation.
Yes,
into
yes,
us. And we all understand, just like that.
As I said, we had a problem with the carrier, and we should have 10 devices for you to play right now, but they will arrive anytime in the week, but I don't know when.
it's
So
understood. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry for that.
Yeah, not your fault.
Yeah.
It is
I don't see
the
it feeling
the
it.
challenges.
Yeah,
It's always the
Huh?
challenge.
You're not going to be on the thing,
I
right?
am on.
Oh, you're on the backside.
Yeah.
Just like,
So we could also use it with pads and so on, but
I'm not seeing the lines up there.
No, it's something different.
Well, they're moving, but this one was for the sound, I thought.
he said it was a juke.
You don't feel anything, Steve?
Yeah, okay. So if you want to try it, we have some medical pads that you can use for individual use. And so we can just open this box and use these pads. It's the same as these disposable pads, okay? So you can find that in any pharmacy or any...
This,
I mean, I can't do it.
the signal that is coming is something different or just electromagnetic pulse?
Yes,
current.
it's only...
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same, but these are specific frequencies that are designed for resonating with BioCoherence. And
So it has some connection.
Yeah.
But for different stuff it's different.
Right?
yes,
And he's
Yeah.
like,
and for
table and do this.
TJ, sorry, and for one specific program. So for instance, for this one, it's acupuncture. So it's a standard program that is already validated by science. So it can be medically used because it's a program that has have the peer-reviewed publications and that is known in the PEMF devices since long. So it's a standard acupuncture program. Just what we do on this one is that we guide to put it on specific places and we enhance it with the harmonic boost.
And when you connect two of them, it's like they have like separate, like one is having one.
If you have two devices?
Yeah.
Voilà. Okay, so if we have two devices, we are more in the realm of
Médéric,
sorry, let's
if you
find.
put a different one on, maybe they'll feel it more, because that one was a subtle
Okay,
head, their circulation.
try this
I
one.
felt it, it started.
Yeah, I felt it too. When you,
But it's
Right.
like tingling, you know. It's not that you like.
Well,
And you have the plus and minus button on it, so you can just change the intensity by clicking on plus.
Yeah, but it's
Médéric, do you remember one time Frederick was asking a question about bone foam?
Yeah, that would be really interesting to use it in the at the same time.
I have bone foams actually. I look at it, but that's not the question.
Yeah.
Médéric was Frederick was asking if you reduced the. In fact, that wasn't the question. Somebody asked about reducing the volume, whether it mattered to what the effect of what was being
Yeah.
made. And I think that relates to voltage, and I'm really sorry, I have no electrical engineering
No, but
knowledge. But there's amplitude
Yeah.
and voltage, isn't there? And that changes.
Yeah, so if your question is, can you put it at a lower level and not feel it, and it would have some effect? I guess the answer would be yes, but maybe with a longer time. But if you just plug it on your skin and you let the program run for 1 hour at a very low level, it might have the same effect. But for that, I'm not sure. So we have to make some experiments and to see if you run it for 1 hour at a very low level so that you don't feel it. Do you have the same effect as if you run it for 3 minutes at a very high intensity? We have to test that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not using the Harmonizer, but I regularly go to acupuncture, and in the last couple of weeks, I went to acupuncture 3 times, and in every instance, they have the electrical, on the needles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, for me, because she was actually in, injuries from my auto accident, which my back is still bothering me. If she turned the volume down low, and it's always a 30-minute session, I get an hour, but the acupuncture, even if it's no electricity and just infrared, it's always 30 minutes. But when she turned the volume down, I didn't get the same effect, really low, so I didn't even feel the tingle. That was not, for me, that was not effective.
That's why we made a device with the controls on the device, so that the user can just adjust it.
Yeah.
And our recommendation is to put it right over the threshold when you start feeling it.
So when you talk before that you have different approaches to like hearing. So what part is, like you said, that they have a study about very good results with what kind of, so listening is what kind of the effect on your body, and what kind of effect is this one. So you said one is for the organ and other one is for the
It's a different healing modality. So I would say people would react differently to different healing modalities. But if you have a headache, you can take a pill, or you can take a massage, or you can take oxygen, or I don't know what. So some people will react very good to pills, and some other people will react very good to oxygen. And it's really an individual response. So it's good to have different ways of addressing the problems.
But you said that the couple, I don't remember. They have different two approaches to the organ and two approaches to this electrical part. So
Okay, so that's when you are searching for
Yeah, I'm just going to ask him a question.
when you are searching for a specific program, you mean you can just search by keyword like that.
yeah, but you said before that there's a couple that had very good effects of doing the healing to
With two devices.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But what kind of, so listening is what kind of?
No, the two devices are two devices like that.
these
So
devices.
it's two harmonizers.
Aha, two harmonizers. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't-
So can I ask a question? So I'm
TJ.
feeling it.
TJ,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it in my arm
Yeah.
and up to the face.
Yes.
But not here at all.
Yes. But
On
you
the
also
diagram, it was showing it.
yes, but you also didn't put it on the points that are shown on the screen.
Yeah,
You just feel it like because it's a demo, and you feel it with your fingers. So
Yeah.
you already feel it across some meridians. But if you put it on your feet, you will feel it on your feet.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not really correlative of that.
It's not it is the physical location, but it's not, it's, the energy is traveling along the meridian, right?
That's why we say, okay, for this program you should put it on your arm, on your leg, for instance.
And that's,
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel it on my leg.
Yes, because it travels along meridians, and that's why we say, okay, if you want to play one program, you should put it on the recommended points. So one here,
But
one
not
here.
this. I don't
But
put
if you
this,
play
I
a whole
put
program,
that.
we will try and find a common ground for all these programs, so that you don't have to change it between every program. So you can play.
Try this.
We designed the program to. The whole program to be around 22 minutes. So one session would be 22 minutes, recommended time. But you can of course make it quicker or longer or anything. But it would be a bit awkward to ask the user to change every 3 minutes the points. So when you do a whole session, we will just find the most interesting points for all the programs.
It's like an entry point.
Yeah. It's like an entry point that would be usable for all these programs from your session.
Anyway, it passes through the connective tissue, and connective
Right.
tissue are everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, but if you start with some key acupuncture points, it can help deliver the signal directly where we want to go.
It cleans up along the connective tissue
Yeah.
where it's traveling.
And it's traveling around along the meridians.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, but that you feel stuff along the meridians, which also need to be
Yeah.
adjusted in the process.
Yeah.
Like I was feeling it here.
Yeah.
There must be a blockage or something being cleaned up at the same time.
Yes. No. And that's exactly the effect of this device. It's kind of restarting the battery. It's a cold starter, for batteries. When you use this energy will be fed directly to your cells, and your cells need voltage to work properly.
Yeah.
So you could say that this device is the energetic part of BioCoherence, and the harmonic boosts are more the information part of BioCoherence. And when you play both together, you get a synergy between the two.
Yeah. And you could say this is almost like a non-local or quantum effect when we're trying to feel it. It's going through, because it is, like, that's what you're saying with the fascia. Even though we might feel it at the entry point, it's at these other spots too with our senses.
It's not a quantum effect. It's a real.
Well, that's what I mean, but it's-
I mean it's a very basic electrical effect where
Yes.
you have a wire from this point to the
Yeah.
brain, for instance, and we use this wire to carry this signal
Yeah.
through this electrical wire that you have inside, which is called the meridian.
Right.
And
Well, that was
and we
wrong
use
word.
some specific acupuncture points because. In the TCM literature, they are related to the problem in question because there are known entry points since 5,000 years
Yeah.
that are related to this problem.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I guess what I'm saying.
And so what we did here is that we mixed all this knowledge all together to make it a simple tool to use in therapeutic settings.
Well, the knowledge is in the background, and you've interfaced it so dummies like me can go, oh, I just pushed this button and it works.
Where I can say like,
Du travail aussi, on a remarqué qu'il prend beaucoup de temps pour que ça fasse un effet. On a vu ça dans l'eau.
Oui, c'est vrai. If we have time, because we are of course running off schedule, I wanted to show you some images this afternoon, and what we did when we did some cymatics experiments with water, we learned that frequencies need a little bit of time to create an effect. So that's why probably you said, oh, it started like that, and then it unblocked some things, and it went up, and it finally reaches the brain, okay? Because
moving things out of the way.
Exactly, and also re-energizing some key nodes that might be blocked and might be low in energy. So it's kind of a battery charger, and you need to recharge these different points. And you know, a meridian is like a river. Okay, and this river may have blocks and rocks and beavers building things in the middle of it, and the flow doesn't flow correctly. So this device will act like the big cleaner, giving more energy to all the substations, because all the acupuncture points are like substations that will take the flow and re-energize the flow and transmit the flow. That's what acupuncture points are. Okay.
Yes, I could put one of those pads over here.
Yeah.
And put that program.
Yeah, exactly.
It can unblock the tumor.
Well, you know, in cymatics, when you put the sand or whatever medium you're using on the table, right? And when you first start the frequency, it's very chaotic because the frequency has not been absorbed by the sand. Once the sand absorbs the frequency, then it self-organizes.
Yes, like and it needs a little bit of time to make, because resonance is a constructive effect. Yes. So resonance, this is one of the things I will speak about this evening if I still have time. But when you use resonance, you give some little impulses to have a big effect at the end. But the first impulses are just giving a little tiny movement on it. And the more impulses in the correct rhythm you give, the more effect you will have. And at one point you will have an effect 1,000 times more effective than the impulse force.
And then it pops up. And that's what I meant with the non-local. It goes, like in Qigong and the meridian stuff, it's like the energy travels way more fast than our senses can detect. So even though if we're just feeling it where it's coming in, it's at the other end too, and it takes our senses. You know, that's why they said you can visualize the energy moving through you, but you can't even think as fast as the energy moves. So don't even think about it. You know, if you're going to try to slow it down and think about it and over-rationalize it, you're just going to inhibit the function of the
anyway,
your intention along with that though would exponentially that effect as well, would it not? Like
intention is information and energy direction. So yes, and that's why we have done those fancy screens with a fancy background and seeing the meridians, because you have to show that to the client when he uses it, and it's shown on the screen. Even on a smartphone, it's really nice, and you see the stated effect that we are currently achieving, and you see the flow in the meridians, and because you see it, you enhance it.
Yes.
Because you allow it in your body, and you say, okay, it should have this effect, so you integrate that it should have this effect. You start feeling it, and by starting feeling it, you allow it to proceed, okay? And you unblock it, because most of the thing we want to do in therapy is removing blockages, and blockages are mostly mental. And so if you see something that is happening, you will unallow the mental blockages that you did to prevent it from happening. And that's also very important.
The belief part, right?
Yeah. But also the nocebo effect. If you believe you are ill, you will entertain your illness, you know?
Yeah. If you keep questioning,
so that's very important.
What am I feeling? Then it's going to you're not going to feel it.
So that's why we did all these nice screens, and when you play it, you know, you got all these screens to get something entertaining and nice, but also to see what's currently happening, and that's very important. And that's an important part of the whole synergetic process. I mean,
it's just like when you're lucid dreaming, and if you can see your hand, boom, you're in the lucid dream. If you don't see your hand, you can control it.
So anyway, we are very late. The Harmonizer programs will be part of the basic programs. So you will have a third mode in the basic programs. You have already Boost, Guide, and you will have Harmonizer, and it will use the contents of the basic programs. And of course, in basic programs, you are encouraged to use the synergy mode with the harmonic boosts and the Harmonizer, but you can also play it silently if you want. Playing it silently can work for different persons, so we offer just different modes. But all the basic programs will have automatically an Harmonizer program integrated into it from the contents of the basic programs.
So what if I mistakenly, inadvertently push personal guide for the meditations? Will that still translate into electrical frequencies?
That's a very interesting question. I plan to integrate the Harmonizer into the personal guide so that you can get some frequencies that would be only designed to relax or to guide you, and then that would be related to the different parts of your meditation. So yes, one of the extensions that will be available maybe in a second time, I don't know, will be using the Harmonizer during the meditation. And for that, we will probably put the Harmonizer on the solar plexus at a very low level, and it will just enhance your meditation process. And I think it could have some very, very good effects. Yeah. So it will be integrated into the personal guide.
The voice also has intent of the person speaking. Obviously, it's AI, but the intent that carries through in the voice.
Yes.
Or the meaning.
Well, yeah.
Linus and Stern, we agree.
So what do you think of this device?
We agree overall.
So what do you think of the device?
Oh, man.
We want to put it on TJ.
You know, for my, I mean, I know we're late, and maybe I should save this for afterwards, but my
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you, but we are very late on time. So we have some price sheets that I can give you, and we have also distributor price sheets. As with all our devices, it will be available through our distributors. And we have the same kind of deals as with the sensor. You can buy the device with an unlocked license. So all the Harmonizer part will be an extension of the basic license. When you buy a Harmonizer, you get the extension with it. And you can buy it monthly or yearly or for lifetime. So it's the same kind of licenses as we have. And you can buy the device with a pre-packed license if you want through the distributor. So that's it for the Harmonizer.
You're like Santa Claus.
He just needs a beard.
In your bag.
Garrett, maybe you can just cut it.